Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Jeremy Roloff used to be on Little People, Big World LPBW. But many fans think that he became a bit weird, as he likes to write word salads after reading up about things. So when the former TLC star made a spelling error recently, fans had a lot of fun mocking him. LPBW fans who follow Jeremy saw that he shared a photo on social media that showed him starting a new project. He hadn't done much work there for a while, as he and the family went on a vacation at their little cabin. The new picture showed some poles and planks piled up, and he looked ready to start working. A fan who spotted the spelling error shared it on Reddit on Monday this week. As soon as other people in the community spotted the spelling mistake, they started laughing and made some witty remarks. That's because he wrote, "shed/coup project begins." Jeremy Roloff probably made the mistake with autocorrect, but that didn't make fans unwilling to troll him. A coup is something a chicken lives in. Meanwhile, a coup is an armed uprising, often by the military, to take over the governance of a country. TLC fans were quick to react, and one of them wrote, "Viva la chickens. La regla de las gallinas," which is Spanish for long-lived chickens. Chickens rule. Others who love to mock the parents of 4 little kids took up the theme. TLC fans didn't seem to mind Jeremy before he married Audrey, but these days, some people claim that he seems to have a self-inflated opinion of himself. So when he makes mistakes, he's always going to get mocked for it. Here are a few more reactions that people wrote. "Couve instead of coup is Freudian slip if I've ever seen one. They could not handle a chicken coup. Woefully underprepared for something like that. I, for one, welcome our new chicken overlords. I'd watch them. Chickens careful. Chicken coups can be violent, not everyone joked though, because they got in some chickens on the farm before, but didn't make a coup for them. So some of the birds were lost to predators." An unhappy follower said, "They got the first batch of chicks in, days before they went on vacation. 2 of those chickens have survived predators and illness by living under the deck when they aren't free ranging the yard." In reply, someone else wrote, "I get so angry when people who clearly don't give two about their animals have animals. Do you think it's funny that Jeremy Roloff made a mistake about a chicken coup? Let us know in the comments below, and come back here often for all your Little People, Big World cast news and updates." Fans of former Little People, Big World stars Jeremy and Audrey Roloff loved the latest update from the latter, showing off a slow start of the day at home. Audrey shared a clip on Instagram showcasing what a Friday morning looks like at her house, including making breakfast for the family and talking at the table. "We love our slow Friday mornings," she began in the caption, before recapping the morning routine, starting with a breakfast consisting of cream eggs, sausage, sourdough, and croissants in the oven. Then she helped get her kids settled before they ate and went over their family value for the month holistic health. They then read stories and played with baby chicks. Fans related to Audrey's post, declaring, "Slow mornings are the best mornings." Another said of similar mornings at their house, "I wouldn't trade them for the world." Audrey, "This is pure magic. I love the love in your home and the baby chick at the end. Come on," said a different fan of the video. Audrey shares 4 kids with Jeremy, including 2 daughters named Ember and Mirabella, and 2 sons named Bode and Radley. New York. The studio head has historically been seen as a fearsome and all-powerful figure, capable of ending a career with the snap of a finger or changing lives with an impulsive green light. In the studio, though, Seth Rogen's studio chief is more Selena Meyer-Veit than Louis B. Mayer. As much as Rogen's Matt Remick, head of the fictional Continental Studios, sits in a sought-after seat of power, he's helpless against larger trends in the film industry. He wants to be making Chinatown, but instead his most important task is getting a cool aid movie off the ground. Bryan Cranston's Continental chief executive asks, "Can he do this?" "Oh yeah, as pitiful as it is, the conflict that my character lives and breathes every second of his life is one a lot of people with his job are facing in real life," Rogen says. They love movies. They're also responsible to a very specific bottom line, and they have to defend the choice they make to a board of people who don't give a about movies. The Studio, the 10-episode series debuting Wednesday on Apple TV+, may be the definitive portrait of contemporary Hollywood. If movies like Singin' in the Rain and The Player captured the movie industry in full swagger, The Studio belongs to a more desperate chapter where even the all-powerful feel impotent. Studio heads, too, must tolerate conversations with people who haven't been to the movies in ages, but who loved The Bear. In a recent interview, Rogen and Evan Goldberg, the longtime writing, producing, and directing duo behind Superbad, Pineapple Express, and This Is the End, said, "The Studio isn't quite a Hollywood postmortem. No matter how much Cranston's performance in the helter-skelter CinemaCon set finale verges toward Weekend at Bernie's territory. We're people who have been given great lives from this industry who, in general, though it's been very frustrating, have gotten to do what they want," Rogen says. The show is very specifically written from the perspective of people that think things can work out in Hollywood, tapping into Dream Factory demoralization. There always is, and probably always will be, reason for optimism in Hollywood. The next big hit is perpetually just around the corner. But as audiences have become increasingly distracted by streaming, the film industry, or at least the major studio version of it, has turned into an IP factory, hoping that franchises, superheroes, and horror can sustain itself. There's still time for a turnaround. There's that optimism again. But ticket sales in 2025 are down 6.9% from last year and 38.6% from 2019, according to ComScore. The trends are worse if you look at tickets sold rather than dollars earned, since large format screens beef up ticket prices. More than that, though, The Studio, with a boatload of cameos of everyone from Martin Scorsese to Netflix chief Ted Sarandos to Zoe Kravitz, taps into a deeper demoralization. Flanked by a team of executives Kathryn Hahn, Ike Barinholtz, Chase Sui Wonders, Remick finds himself, when not directly obstructing filmmakers he adores, like Scorsese and Sarah Polley, beset with questions over whether they cast a racist Kool-Aid movie, if their smile knockoff wink can work, or how to sell a movie with zombie diarrhea. Matthew Belloni, the former editor of The Hollywood Reporter and founding partner of the media company Puck, appears as himself in the series. He says that there's truth underlying almost every scene in The Studio, for better and mostly worse. It captures the existential dread that seems to permeate every conversation, says Belloni. People recognize that the glory days of Hollywood are over, and the whole concept of what Hollywood even means is being redefined. And that has caused everybody in town to go completely crazy. This show captures that craziness very, very well, exposing inside Hollywood drama again. The Studio isn't the first time Rogen and Goldberg have had a role in revealing the inner workings of a Hollywood studio. When their 2014 North Korean comedy The Interview led to the hacking of Sony Pictures, the studio's private correspondence landed on the internet. Without The Interview, a show like this would have been much harder for us to write. Rogen says, chuckling, "We got to the CEO level of problem. Those problems ultimately included Sony Pictures co-chair Amy Pascal stepping down. Pascal, who has since been a highly successful producer, has remained a mentor to Rogen and Goldberg. In The Studio, she's fictionalized by Catherine O'Hara as a savvy producer and Remick's former boss. One of the biggest misconceptions people seem to have with Hollywood is that it's run by people who only care about money and don't at all care about film," Rogen says. "There's a few of those people," Goldberg chimes in. "They are out there, for sure," continues Rogen, "but in general, the people who have ascended to Amy's level to run studios are people who love movies and can sit in a room with the greatest filmmakers on earth and have an on-the-level conversation about filmmaking. 100-episode ideas." Rogen and Goldberg, who created the show with Freda Perez and a pair of Veep veterans in Peter Hike and Alex Gregory, began developing The Studio during the pandemic. Then, they thought it really might be a satirical elegy for Hollywood. The twin blockbusters of Barbie and Oppenheimer, though, prompted them to give the series a more hopeful spin, but they were never short on fodder. "Most of it is very directly from our lives," Goldberg says. As soon as we thought of it, we thought of 100-episode ideas, adds Rajan. That includes one episode where Remick joins a date at a hospital fundraiser attended by doctors. That came from Rajan's own experience attending galas for the Alzheimer's disease charity he runs with his wife, Lauren Miller. I find myself at a lot of medical galas and at a lot of tables with doctors who save people's lives, and they seem to take particular joy in diminishing what I do for a living, Rajan says, laughing. Those scenes, the doctors are the ones who love the bear unfold with Remick, claiming that what he does matters, even if that includes a movie that sounds not too dissimilar in vulgarity to his and Goldberg's R-rated animated comedy Sausage Party. What's funny about Hollywood is how people have imbued every moment with life-altering stakes that could last forever, says Rajan. People seem to take their jobs in Hollywood more seriously than the people who are actually making nuclear decisions. That's what's terrifying. As much as it lampoons Hollywood, the studio is also an ode to it. An episode about a missing reel is done in the style of Chinatown. Most of the series, which Rajan and Goldberg directed, are shot in long. Balletic takes even the episode in which Remick keeps fouling up an ambitious long take attempted by Polly. Those are just some of the ironies of the studio, which, at the next fundraising gala in Los Angeles, is sure to be, more than any new movie, what most people are talking about. After you break up with someone, there's a clear set of steps to take. First, you cry a lot. Then you complain about your ex to friends, family members, and strangers in bathrooms. Nobody is exempt as a potential audience member to your relationship's post-mortem soliloquy. Next up, a new haircut. Maybe some thirsty Instagram posts. Eventually, you start to reflect on all the reasons why the relationship wasn't working and come to terms with the fact that you made the right decision. You feel proud at how secure, self-assured, and well-versed you are in Esther Perel lore. Your loved ones applaud you for being so strong. But then one night, in the middle of a 2 a.m. doom scroll, a moment of madness occurs and you wind up texting your ex. Uh-oh, the feelings are still there. You decide you can't let go. You get back together. Suddenly, you have a lot of explaining to do. This is a routine I know well, not just because I've done it with spectacularly dramatic flair, might I add, but because plenty of friends of mine have too. It's also something we see celebrities do, as in this week with Molly May Hague, whose breakup last year with fellow Love Islander Tommy Fury caused such a stir that people started comparing the reality stars to Charles and Diana. Now, rumors have started to swirl that the couple is getting back together, as Hague herself has alluded to in recent social media posts. Cue the excessive amount of explaining that I